Hello, my name is King E. AFEMIKHE, and it is quite a privilege to be here having this conversation because I think to a large extent, every man needs to learn, to continue to grow, to continue to re-strategize for the future. So if you're a man, please sit, listen, or maybe you're driving, maybe you're eating, maybe you're making a coffee, just listen. And there might just be something that would change the trajectory of how you build a business or how you see life in general. I want to touch on the topic, leveraging brand voice strategies for business growth. Someone would ask, why am I the person talking about this? My background centers around the creative industry, from radio to TV to acting to stage acting to voice acting. And currently I serve as communications director for a financial services company in the United States, FinServ Pro. And aside that, I have a creative background that focuses on brand positioning, brand strategy, personal branding, and the list goes on. So with my years of experience, I've come to realize that there are strategies to several things, including how your business is perceived or how you make people feel when they come in contact with your business. So I want to touch on that specifically, and we will just unravel the possibilities around leveraging brand voice strategies for business growth. So there's something I was reading and I just created the story around it. I was at a popular spot in Lagos just last week, watching a young entrepreneur try to explain his tech product to a group of potential partners. It was brilliant. His product was solid, but the way he was talking, it was all intellectual, synergy, value proposition, holistic ecosystem, those big grammar that just makes it look like, oh, this person is so brilliant. But as I watched closely, while he was talking, I realized that the potential sponsors or partners were glazing, their eyes were glazing over. They weren't connecting. They were nodding, but they were already thinking of what they were going to do after they leave that place. Maybe the traffic in Lagos, maybe what they're going to eat when they get home, or maybe they have another appointment that they're going to meet. They were already out of that place even before he was done talking. Then someone else walked in after that young man was done, a female, another founder, and she just looked and said, look, honestly, we were tired of the stress of missing payments, so we built this to make sure your money hits your account before the bank even sends you a notification. The vibe changed instantly. People leaned in. The potential partners leaned in. After some time, you could see them laughing. They literally connected and felt it. Why? Because this new partner, or this new founder rather, was talking their pain points, was also very relatable to something that they have maybe also seen as a challenge within their space. Now, that's the difference between having a brand and having a brand voice. Take Nigeria, for instance. In Nigeria, we love a good story. We value connection. Yet, so many businesses try to sound like they are maybe 100-year-old bank in London or a faceless multinational. The world has gone past all of that. The world has gone past where you use big grammar, heavy words, like Patrick Ogbayagbon, the krinkum krankum, the higi haga. I am maniacally bewildered, because a lot of people or a lot of brands think that it makes a lot more sense and people will take you serious when you sound overly serious. Now, not to say that is bad in itself. That could have its good sides, but the thing is that you would have positioned your brand voice to sound that way. But here's the truth. People don't buy from logos. They buy from people. I'll say that again. People don't buy from logos. They buy from people. And in a world where AI and prompts and the noise of doing things fast, DIYs, It is that human connection that is now the currency. If you want your business to grow, you have to stop acting like a robot. You need a voice that sounds like a human being someone would actually want to talk to. Let me ask you a question. If your brand was a person, let's assume your brand was a person that enters into a party or that goes into a party, who would they be? Who would they be? If your brand was a person, if you were to describe your brand, that my brand is so and so, who would your brand be? Is your brand funny? Is your brand that best friend that has a lot of gist? Is your brand the life of the party? Or your brand is the Rema brand, the brand that likes to drop deep things, that when someone hears, it'll be like, death, choke me with the word. Is that your brand? If that is your brand, then that is what you need to focus on. You must find it. So think about this. There are 10 people selling exactly what you are selling. So take, for instance, in my industry, the communication, selling, voice acting industry, there are a whole lot of people doing the exact same thing or selling the exact same product. Same price sometimes, same quality sometimes, same delivery sometimes. I know it's funny, but sometimes it sounds almost the same. So the question would now be, why should someone choose you within that ecosystem? You must start as much as possible to realize that they will choose you because of how you make them feel. Just the same way someone would save up and buy an iPhone, not necessarily because other phones do not have the same features, but because of how they feel when they hold it. I have a friend of mine who we always diss ourselves. I'm a Samsung guy. He's an iPhone guy. And there's just usually a way we make jest of ourselves. We laugh and just, be friends. And sometimes it is not about the fact that Samsung does not deliver the same thing. Sometimes it's just about the feeling of using an iPhone. So people buy from you because of how you make them feel. You need to realize that when you use a consistent human voice, even on your WhatsApp broadcast or your Instagram caption, you're doing 3 things. It is not by chance. You are doing some things that are specific to the outcome or to the future outcome of your business. Number 1, you're building trust before you even ask for money. With the things that you post, you need to realize your captions, the way you respond to comments online, you are building certain closeness or certain trust. Even before you say, I am selling this thing, come and buy. That is being strategic with your brand voice. Another thing is that you're standing out of the noise. And like I said earlier, there are prompts, there are AI-generated visuals, videos, right? Even voices. The list goes on. Right now, AI is a thing. The world has changed, right? The way business operations are carried out has drastically changed. But one thing that has not changed is the individuality of every human being. So the question would be, how are you standing out of the noise? When everyone is shouting, buy now, everyone is shouting, discount here, limited offer, limited space available, terms and conditions apply. All of that is going on. If you show up sounding like a real human who actually cares about the problem of your potential client or target audience, you become the only one they hear because they can relate. Another thing is you are turning customers into a family or into farms. You know that. You need to know that your business will sell more when people can tell other people about you. When your brand voice is relatable, people don't just buy your product. They tell their friends about it. That's how you scale without spending, millions on billboards. The trick around this, honestly, it's about keeping it real and keeping it consistent. It is not something that you just start and overnight you would even fail. But when the righteous fall 7 times, they do what? They rise again, like one of my friends said. So you need to understand that it is something that you have to be consistent with. Now, being human, let's clear something. Being human is not about being unprofessional, because sometimes we can misconstrue being authentic, being human as sounding unprofessional. That's not what we're trying to say. It is about being authentic, because God is so wise that he created the human being and gave everyone a competitive advantage. And that competitive advantage cannot be taken away from you. There can only be one original. The way you behave, the way you sound, the way you interpret things, your creativity level, the way you see life is totally different from what anyone else sees. That is what AI cannot take away. So you must pay attention to that. Not to take too much time, because of course this is the Manifestos post series, and right now we're doing audio. The bottom line is, don't overthink this thing. Don't go looking for big grammar in the dictionary. Just ask yourself, if I was explaining this business to my friend over a drink or a booker or maybe a nice spot, how would I say it? How would I say it? Another question is, if your brand walked into a room right now, what is the one thing you would want people to say about you after they've heard you speak? And that is where I will drop the mic. I rest my case. Look out for more content or more ideas, more, manifestos that would help you grow as a man and help you just reposition for success. One more thing, Manifestos webinar, first webinar will be happening in August 1st specifically. And we're already ready for that. So look out and watch out and share the content, leave comments. Let us know if this is relevant or this made any impact for you. That is how we know that we're solving a problem. Thank you so much. My name is King E. AFEMIKHE. God bless you, and I'll see you at the top. Bye for now.